What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and we've got a very special unboxing for you guys today. Here is the Huawei Mate Xs. One of the first, if not the first unboxing in the world, so a thumbs up for that would be appreciated. We heard about the Huawei Mate X last year, which got a little bit delayed, but Huawei have gone back and improved the Mate X, and we have here the Huawei Mate Xs. Let's go ahead, get it unboxed, and take a detailed first look. So we've got a black box with the Huawei branding, Huawei Mate Xs, as well as the Leica Quad camera logo. Let's go ahead and open this up. And here we have it. Okay, we're gonna put the phone to the side for a second to see what else we get inside the box. Now everything is presented really nicely in smaller boxes. We've got some USB Type-C earphones, a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, SIM card ejector tool with some paperwork, and finally there's a 55-watt Huawei SuperCharger. Now this is gonna be able to charge the Huawei Mate Xs from 0 to 85% in just 30 minutes. And you're also going to be able to use this charger to charge up things like your laptop because of the fact that it's got 55-watt charging. Absolutely awesome. Now let's take a look at the device, and here it is in its full glory. When it is completely folded out, we've got a massive 8-inch OLED display, and it looks really, really good. Now, when you fold it, you actually get two displays. You get the main outer display. This is around 6.6 inches, but then, as well as that, you then get a back display, which is around 6.3 inches. Now, Huawei have actually made a few improvements to this display compared to what we had on the Mate X. Let me run you through a few of these. So firstly, this is a quad layer display. So we've got a few different layers to make it protected. And also the crease is no longer as visible as it was on the Mate X. Now Huawei are using an aerospace graded polymer, so this is still plastic based, and we're gonna have to see in terms of the durability. Of course, based on other foldable devices that we've seen, which normally have the folding element inside, this is more of an outie, so we've got the display on the outside. When you're putting it in and out of your pocket, that's something that I am a little bit concerned about, but I can't really tell you as yet. I'm gonna have to use this on a daily basis and see how that fares over time. But the improvements that Huawei have made should make this more durable compared to what we had on the Mate X. Now, if you look closely, you can see that there is a screen protector applied, so you can see the edges of it. This is not to be peeled off. Warning to everybody out there who's going to try to peel it off, do not peel this off. Now, one of the biggest advantages that you get with a display like this, which kind of folds on the outside, is that when the device is closed, you've got a very usable 6.6-inch display. So you could very comfortably use this as a regular smartphone. But when you do want to experience that full tablet-sized device, then you can pop it out and you've got this full screen experience with no notch or no punch out or anything like that. Now the hinge has also been improved, so we're getting a pretty much flat display when it is completely out, and then it folds back on itself a full 180 degrees. Now, as well as that, we've got these two elements that are at the top and the bottom of the hinge area, and these will prevent any dust and debris getting into the display. Looks very promising. I honestly cannot wait to kind of put my SIM card into this and try using this on a daily basis. Now, another very interesting thing about the Mate Xs is that we've got this sidebar here along the side, obviously, and this actually has a few different purposes. So firstly, it actually kind of acts as a bit of a handle, so you can hold the device when it's flat out with one hand, using this as a bit of a grip. But more importantly, it houses the quad camera setup, a flash, the button, which actually expands the device out, a volume rocker, as well as a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, which also doubles up as a power button. Now let's talk a little bit about these cameras. So these are quite similar to what we've got on the P30 Pro. So we've got a primary 40 megapixel camera with an f1.8 aperture. Now this is a super sensing camera, So instead of using red, green and blue, it uses red, yellow and blue. And this allows the sensor to capture a lot more light. Huawei, very big on low light photography. We then have a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. This, of course, great if you want to get a lot more into your shots. We then have an 8 megapixel telephoto camera. This is going to give you up to 3 times optical zoom, up to 5 times hybrid zoom, which uses a combination of optical and digital zoom. And it's also going to give you up to 30 times digital zoom. And finally, we have a time of flight sensor. This is going to help with depth information. Now, personally for me, the most interesting thing about these cameras is that not only can they be used as rear-facing cameras, but they can also be used as front-facing cameras. Now, because the device folds back on itself, you can use the rear side of the display as a viewfinder for your selfies. And this means you're gonna get much better quality selfies because you are using those rear-facing cameras as front-facing cameras, and you're also getting that flexibility of using multiple lenses. So you're gonna be able to get ultra-wide selfies. You're also gonna be able to use the time of flight sensor for your portrait selfies. Another interesting use of these cameras is that if you do have the device folded, if you're taking pictures of somebody else, then they're going to be able to see what they look like from this back display while you're taking that shot. So if you want to hand the device over to somebody and you want them to change the composition a little bit, you're going to be able to see that. So this is a very, very cool and interesting setup. If we take a quick look around the device, when the device is folded shut, it's actually not too thick. Here you can see it in comparison to the Mate 30 Pro. And although, of course, it is thicker, honestly speaking, for a foldable device, this is pretty good. At the bottom, as part of the sidebar, there is a USB Type-C input. Then we've got a few mics. There's a bottom firing speaker. Now we do have stereo speakers, so there is one here bottom firing, and then there is one in the earpiece. At the top, we've got a SIM card tray. Now we do have support for dual SIM cards, and then there's an IR blaster. On the right-hand side, there's the volume rockers as well as that power button that we looked at earlier that also doubles up as a fingerprint scanner. Now let's talk about the internals. This is another area where there's been some big improvements. We now have the Kirin 990 chipset compared to the 980 that the Mate X came with. What's the most interesting thing about the 990 is that it has integrated 5G capability. So you're not gonna have to have a separate 5G modem. This is all within one chip, which is gonna give you much more efficiency when it comes to power. You do have 8 gigabytes of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage. Now let's talk about the software. So we do have EMUI 10.1, and this is built on top of open source Android 10. Now, yes, there is still the issue of the Google Play Store not being supported. I currently can't talk too much about that because this device is pre-release, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to be happening. Are we going to be getting an alternative? I'm hoping that this issue can be sorted out. But what I can tell you is about some of the multitasking features that have been built into EMUI 10.1 to take advantage of this larger display. So initially, if you do have an app open while the device is folded, when you do unfold it, that app is automatically going to expand and utilize the full display. What you can also do is drag from the side and hold. This is going to give you lots of shortcuts to apps. So say for instance, I want to open a web browser. I can do that here. And then if I want to split the screen and say for instance, have the gallery open as well, I can tap and hold and then drop that on the side. So now I've got 2 apps open here side by side. I can also change the size. And in addition to that, if I want to open a third app, then I can have that floating on top of both of the currently open apps. And that's definitely an interesting use of the real estate that you have on the Mate XS. We also have Huawei Share built in, so if you do have another Huawei device, maybe a MateBook X, then you're going to be able to quickly and easily transfer images and files from the Mate XS to the laptop very quickly and easily. Now let's talk about the battery. So we do have a 4500 milliamp battery. It's actually split in 2 because of the folding nature of this device. We'll have to see how long that's going to last. As mentioned, you do get that 55-watt supercharging, which is absolutely insane. Now, in terms of pricing and availability, I've not been given that information as yet. As soon as I have that, I'll be dropping that down below as a pinned comment, as well as in the description. I'd assume it's going to be coming in similarly to what we had the Mate X as last year. And there we have it, guys. That is the Huawei Mate XS. A very interesting device for me. It's something that I've wanted to check out for a very long time. It's a very different approach to the foldable smartphone. It folds on the outside, which has a lot of advantages, but it also has a lot of question marks. How durable is this going to be on the day-to-day, considering that the screen is always going to be exposed, going in and out of your pocket? How is the software going to be? These are things that we're going to have to look at in the full review. What do you guys think of the Huawei Mate XS? Definitely drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to see lots more coverage with the Mate XS, as well as lots of other devices, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do hit that thumbs up button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.